On the show today, I'll be discussing the 2019 budget and physician recruitment.
Hi, I'm Andrew Plummer, and I'm on the spot with the Pembroke Insider.
And catch Extra for any information I can't get in the first half of the show, you'll catch it at the end of the show. All this and more on your Pembroke Insider. Hi, I'm Corey Nagora, and welcome to the Pembroke Insider, your council and committee review show. If you're interested in previous episodes, you can go to the Pembroke Insider Facebook page located below. Now, we have a lot to go over, but before I do, I'd like to mention that in my previous episode, I may have misled or missuggested that Councillor Brian Abdallah was a member of the Pembroke Heritage Mural Committee. Now, in truth, or to clarify, Councillor Abdallah was appointed to the committee by council and serves as to relay information to both groups. I do apologize, and hopefully this clarifies the misunderstanding. Budget 2019. Now, this was provided to council by Leanne McIntyre, the treasurer of the city, and obviously this was all discussed by council, so they're already aware of the details. Now, where I'll start then is I'm going to start with what affects you first. Now, the city's going to spend roughly about $30.7 million, for which $20.9 million, or 66%, will come from your taxes. Now, here's a breakdown of the revenue. Now, sadly, taxes are raising, but only at a combined increase of 0.74%. Now, this is for the average resident or single dwelling house. Now, a 0.78% increase was applied across the board for residential, commercial, and infrastructure, as well as a 1.5% for water and sewage. Now, this means for the average resident, they will see an increase of about an extra $32 for the year. So for $1 a day for 1 month, you can pay your council. Now, multiple residential buildings will see an estimated increase of $159. Commercial will see $75 increase, and industrial will see $70. Now, these amounts are based on the average cost of the structure and can vary up or down. Now, this includes municipal, the 2018 education taxes, as the school board has yet to provide this year's current taxes to council, so you could see an increase or a decrease with regards to the taxes. Garbage collection did go down $9 this year, and Ottawa Valley waste recycling fees remain the same, as did water. However, your sewer will see an increase or a bump of about 2.5%, which again for the average residential homeowner is an increase of about $17.20. That's included within that $32 for the year. So what does our money get for us? Now, this chart here shows us the breakdown of the city's expenses. Now, if you multiply the percentages with the 30 million plus to get the cost for each, this is plus or minus about 150,000. Now, I like to look at capital expenditures. This is basically the projects that the city either owns with regards to facilities or roads, as well as water and sewage. Seeing where the money is being spent towards the city is always a good thing for the public. So the buildings and facilities within Pembroke will see a budget, or were budgeted for about $1.9 million. Now, this will include PMC repairs, Kinsman Pool, and $150,000 towards LED street lighting in the downtown. Roads and bridges were budgeted for about $4.5 million. Major road projects include Dunlop from Maple to Cecilia for $190,000, $350,000 for McKay Street from Esther to Dixon, but that's only if they get some funding through grants. $138,000 for design of Nelson Street, $200,000 for Moffat Street River Stability Study, which will be great for those that currently live on Moffat Street and see that their backyards and some of their houses are starting to fall into the river, and $150,000 for the demolition of the Muskrat Dam. I will be speaking with Andrew Plummer on the spot with regards to about that dam. Now, a whopping $3.1 million will be spent for the Victoria Street, which includes a full reconstruction and has been something that has been on the council's agenda for some time. The equipment and fleet will see a budget of $766,000 for various vehicles and machinery. The parks will receive $355,000. Now, for those that like recreation in the city, they will be happy to know that they will that the Lee Street Park will get $50,000 for a shade structure. That could be anything from a gazebo to a wall, I guess. $50,000 to Rotary Park for tennis courts, $75,000 for the waterfront park improvements, and Riverside will see $10,000 to the ball diamonds, $25,000 for a gazebo, and $15,000 towards the mini golf refurbishment. $3.1 million will be spent towards various sewage projects. $2.9 million will be spent on water projects, for a total of about $13.5 million for city-owned and operated facilities, infrastructure, and equipment. Now, this may seem like a lot, but it's significantly less than the $21.1 million that was spent last year. As for the city's debt and reserves, it currently owes $20.4 million at the start of 2019 and has a repayment this year of just less than $1.8 million. That will leave about $18.7 million remaining at the year's end for the city owing. Now, currently the city does have $18.1 million in reserves, but they will have to dip into it this year for projects, and you can expect that at the end of the year they'll have about $14.6 million left in reserves. Whew. Now, I know that's a lot to get to wrap your head around, but here's a chart that breaks down your average tax dollar. Now, for a full look at the 2019 budget, go to the City of Pembroke's website, located below, to find more details with regards to this year's budget. Next, we'll be discussing physician recruitment. Now, there was a delegation that came before Council today that was provided by Debbie Robinson, the recruiter, and Dr. Richard Johnson, a member of the Upper Ottawa Valley Medical Group. Now, they've been meeting with various municipalities to make them aware of their recruitment efforts. Now, this is some of the information that they provided, as well as some comments from our council as well.
Clear that the main priority was on recruitment of physicians, and so there's approximately 3,000 patients on Healthcare Connect, which is a system where you can go to try to find a primary care provider. And that's for the area of Pembroke, Petawawa, and the surrounding Laurentian Valley, kind of the area that feeds into this area. 0 when the previous recruitment committee was disbanded, and so now it's increased to this, and our projection over the next 5 years is it could surpass 10,000 if we were to do nothing with this. So this is kind of the cheapest way that this could be done at this point. So the Pembroke Hospital is funding this. We are not providing any added incentives to physicians at this point. Stated and to ask for extra money at this point, I do not believe in, and then it kind of becomes a game of different communities trying to compete on a money basis against other surrounding areas. Wider basis than just this area. So again, that we kind of focus as a entire county possibly in the future instead of just kind of on this area here. If you were to get asked, what can someone do? It's register on Healthcare Connect, because that's how we can try to track numbers. And physicians that come to the community, they are generally taking patients off Healthcare Connect, and they do prioritize patients based on need through that as well. So it will.
A similar way, are you going to be going to universities, trying to recruit students, same style? Are you going to have a team to work with? Or
well, I can sort of, since working for Richard and his group, is that I've gone to recruitment fair in Ottawa, and that was at the end of November. And that's something that we always did. There was a number of recruitment fairs that we did attend throughout the 10-year period of the committee. The Ottawa at University of Ottawa was always a good one for us. We always had some success there. But when I was there this time, what's disturbing is nothing has really changed. There's still 70, 80 municipalities, and we're all there with our tables and our gadgets and whatever to try to entice people to come and talk to us. So there's nothing that's changing. So this week I will be going to Montreal for the recruitment fair there, and Dr. Declan Rowan will accompany me, and we will sell our community. I can sell the community, the physician sells the practice. So we'll do our very, very best, and hopefully have lots of success.
Saying there seemed to be an issue, people were calling, and it wasn't just seniors, Your Worship. It was people with families as well who wanted to relocate in the community. They wanted the assurance that they can have, family physician.
I myself am originally from Ottawa. Again, like another story tonight, so I'd only been to Pembroke for a hockey tournament prior to coming here. And I chose to come here basically just at, so on prior to becoming a resident, you go through interviews. And so I interviewed here, and it was the residents that were here that I met at the booth that wooed me to this area.
So a Silver Stick presentation was provided to council by Norbert Chaput, the tournament director, and Mike Thompson, the registrar. Just a little back history on the Silver Stick. It was started back in 1956 with the first tournament held in 1958 with only 4 teams, and now has 12 international tournaments, 47 regional tournaments in Canada and US, which includes 6,500 coaches and players. Now, the first regional tournament here in Pembroke was in 1984. I was a wee little lad at that time. Now, 2018 was the 34th annual tournament that covers 4 weeks, 136 teams, and 255 games. Tournaments generates an estimated $5.6 million for the city. As you can see here, this was provided to council from the presentation. So as they were at, the presentation was done at council, they did ask the city for very few minor things. They asked for a website link for which they could get, they could be reached to their website off the Pembroke City website. They wanted to be added to the events calendar for the month of November. They wanted to be added to the board's event at the PMC. And they also wanted signage at the entry of the city so that when people are coming in, they can see what's going on. And in this regards, obviously, Silver Stick. So here's some comments, though, that were made by some of the councillors, as well as a presentation that was done by the mayor at the end.
Norbert, you must be a fixture, because I think I was there and you were there. That's got to be 20-some years ago. But to your staff, and I know how diligently these guys work. I mean, when the tournament starts, they sleep in that arena. And, you know, the humble request you've made here tonight, what better ambassadors do we have than, you know, the Silver Stick, people coming here and knowing about us. We're talking about promoting the community. This is one of the key ways of promoting it. Thank you.
The Silver Stick, except that month, the month before, the month after. But the economic impact on the city is tremendous, and it's been that way for so many years. And the fact that we're here tonight, we know marketing is important for the city, tourism is becoming important for the city. But I think it's really important that the residents of Pembroke realize, from an economic point of view, the importance of the Silver Stick. So on behalf of council and also the citizens of Pembroke, and Laurentian Valley who participated, thank you very much for all the work that you do. And we'd like to present you with a scroll here. So Norbert and Michael, come up here.
Okay, so the first half of the show, we've got through as much as we can. Stay tuned to the end of the show for any information I have yet to get to that was discussed further within council. But stay tuned next. I'll be on the spot with Councillor Andrew Plummer.